welcome back to the Hermitcraft FTB server. I have been working this skeleton farm here, and I discovered something kind of cool because after I did that first enchant on this sword here and got this stuff on it, the Smite 5 and Knockback 2, I decided just for the heck of it, the next time out I would enchant the Vile Sword. And look at what I got on here. Disjunction 4, I don't know what that does. Vorpal 2, this gives you a chance of getting heads, which is how come I have a skeleton skull here. And Soul Stealer 4 and Fire Aspect 2. Fire Aspect we all know about. Soul Stealer 4 is very cool, because with a Soul Stealer 4 enchantment, for every 1 kill I get 5 counts on the soul shard. So I got 447 on there now. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's see, I picked up 2 more skulls and got a bunch more towards tier 4, which I'll get tier 4 at 512, and I'm going to keep going until I get to 1024. I figure this Vile Sword probably won't last that long, but that's alright. What I'm going to do is when its durability gets down to almost the end, I'm going to stop using it, and later on I'll see about repairing it. Meantime, I am collecting skeletons. Okay, I've got tier 4 now. Next up, another just under 512 to get to 1024, and I'll have a tier 5 skeleton spawner. The ability to make one. And the nice thing about that is a tier 5 spawner will spawn 6 mobs at a time every 2 seconds. It will do so regardless of light level. It will do so regardless of whether there's anybody within 16 blocks of it. And it can be turned off with a redstone signal. I think that's pretty cool. So, I'm going to continue working on my tier 5. And we'll catch up with you in a bit. Okay, I've decided to head over here to home because it occurs to me that it's worthwhile to see if I can arrange to repair this sword that seems to be doing so good. So what I'm going to do is take another couple of iron ingots. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take, say, 16 of them and throw them in the soul forge. And while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to make up an anvil. And I'm going to see if I can go ahead. Oh, doggone it. I forgot about that. I need to put this iron in a compressor to make iron block to make an anvil with. Alright. I'll work on that. And as soon as I have the let's see, these I should be able to craft into a corrupted ingot. Yes, I need several of those. Once I get those cooked up, I'm going to head back to the spawn resources area, the machine room there, and use a compressor to make myself some iron blocks so I can put together an anvil. And I'll be back when I get there. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead, I made up a bunch of the corrupted ingots, and while I was at it, I made up 2 more of those Vile Swords. And between the Vile Swords and the extra corrupted ingots, I should have not a problem both in repairing the one sword, but in getting some more of them enchanted. Now, stop in here. Let's see. Compressor, compressor. Which one of you was a compressor? It's a macerator, electric furnace, compressor. Alright, wait for some of this stuff, not all of it. Wait for that much to get compressed into block and get myself an anvil made. Alright, my iron is all compressed into blocks, so let's go ahead and get an anvil made. Very good. Alright. And I'm just gonna plop it down here, temporarily like. Take this sword in here, and how much will it cost to repair it that way? 30 levels. Ooh. How about with ingots? Okay. Alright. I'm going to need to head back to the Skelly farm, grab some more XP, and then I'm going to start repairing this sword and work on enchanting the other one. And I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I've been at this a while, just about to level 37. As a matter of fact, now I am, and I decided to go for 37 for a reason, because I found out what disjunction is. Disjunction is kind of like Bane of Arthropods. You know how Bane of Arthropods makes a weapon more effective against spiders, cave spiders, and silverfish. Well, disjunction makes a weapon much more effective against endermen. And boom, the weapon has now been renamed, which means that repairing it will cost less. Well, repairing it with all those enchantments, only 32 levels, that's not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and now get myself back to 32 levels. Pick up my anvil. And not only get that one repaired, I'm also going to get 30 levels to get this one enchanted, and along the way I'll come up with some more wood, and I'm going to make a couple of more of these, and I'm actually going to enchant myself an arsenal of those things, which if I can get disjunction on some or all of them will be great, because if I get 2 with disjunction 4, I could combine that for a disjunction 5, which would be good. Especially when going after endermen, I think that would be very worthwhile doing. So, I'm going to work on that. And while I'm working on that, I'm also getting credit towards my soul shard, which is currently a tier 4, and I'm working up to a tier 5. And that will let me have a really good XP farm. Alright, I've just gotten up to 32 levels here, so it's time to slap the anvil down again, and this time get this thing completely repaired. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and use this thing to finish off this tier 5, and then I'll put it away and work up another 30 levels to get this one enchanted. And hopefully come up with some more disjunction. More Vorpal would be good too. Oh yeah. 888. I got 124 to go. 114, excuse me. And it's going to go a lot faster now. And once this shard is up to a tier 5, I'll put the sword away and just work the XP for the levels. All right, got some levels here. Got Ender 1 is in pretty good shape here, and I've made Ender 2. I'm going to hit and named it. Let's see what we get with 30 levels on that. Vorpal 2, Soul Stealer 2, and Sharpness 4. Soul Stealer 4 and Sharpness 4. Not bad. Alright, what I'm going to do now is get myself some wood. I'm going to use these, make up another sword, repair this one with, and a third one to go ahead and enchant it with a level 30 and name it Ender 3. And that way I'll be able to go ahead and next time I go out hunting Endermen, have 3 very effective swords for fighting them with. And oh, by the way, the soul shard is now a tier 5 completed. And I've got some more skulls. Alright, so I'm off to go grab some wood and see what I can come up with here. Alright, another good bunch of grinding. And it's time to put a level 30 enchant on Ender 3 and see what I get. Soul Stealer 3 and Bane of Arthropods 3. Okay, well, it'll come in handy if I decide to make a spider shard, although I can't honestly see myself doing that. Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit more so that I can get Ender repaired, and I believe that's going to cost me about 34 levels. And once I get that taken care of, I'm going to do something with this soul shard. Make a spawner for skeletons, and I'm thinking about the idea, I think I'm going to put this thing in the Nether, because in the Nether it will spawn wither skeletons as well. And so that sounds good to me. And I'm back to the grind. Alright, I just got back after a long several Minecraft days at the skeleton grinder. We have something of a hole in the world going on here. Looks like someone has an extensive mine and so on. A major chunk of the ground not showing up, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm not walking on that. I'm glad I don't have to. Meantime, I just finished tapping the rubber trees. Got a stack plus 41 of sticky resin, and I'm going to do something with my saplings here, my rubber tree saplings. Get a little bit of my own situation planted here. And I'm just going to put one there and drop another one over here. That'll be good right there. Torch next to each one so that it's plenty well lit. And oh, looky, we have a creeper. Denied. You lose. And you're dead, sir. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop over there, and I'm going to process all this sticky resin. I'm also going to run this rubber wood through the extractor. And then building a few other machines so that we can build a few other things. And then, of course, sometime soon, I'm going to take these 3 swords, Ender, Ender 2, and Ender 3, and go out once again Enderman hunting. But first, sticky resin time. Alright, since the last clip, there has been a little bit of stuff happen. And while I recharge the jetpack, I'll bring you up to speed on that. I was downstairs at the Thaumcraft station with the chests down there, gathering some stuff together that I needed for the next thing I was going to make, which right this minute I don't even remember what it was. And I heard the sound of an Enderman, and so I went looking after it, trying to find it. Found a small cave section area down there in one of the openings in the wall. And I was exploring, looking around for the Enderman, lighting things up as I go, taking care of the occasional itinerant mob of one kind or another. And one of those times that makes you want to just scream just a little bit. I had a very large, intense burst of lag. As in, all of a sudden, I could barely move and all of that. And next thing you know, without hearing the traditional warning hiss, there was the incessant boom of a creeper, and I was suddenly standing by my bed again. And this is when I had some severe lag problems. I even tried relogging a couple of times, and in the process I noticed that my ping time had suddenly shot to over 5,000 milliseconds, which is positively abominable in the worst possible way. And so by the time I did finally get back to where I died. But by the time I did, everything was gone. All the good swords and everything. So I've made up some new ones, and I will be enchanting them later. I even have some diamond tools that I'm going to enchant. And yes, I know you can use these gems, but I want the long lifespan of diamond. So that's the way it is. And I have enough diamonds to do it, so why not? Meanwhile, because I had thought to put it away, I do still have the skeleton shard. And the skeleton shard is a tier 5. And I've got, along with that, I've got the soul cage required to make it into a spawner. I've got a few stacks of stone bricks, some zirconium blocks, stone brick covers, red alloy wire, and some inverted white lamps. Over in this other canvas bag, I've got a bunch of marble brick and marble brick covers. So I'm pretty well set for supplies. I've got torches, 2 fully charged jetpacks, some armor, and I am now headed off to the Nether to do something with this tier 5 skeleton spawner shard thingy. And the idea here is to set up a skeleton spawner in the Nether, which, as I'm sure most people know by now, that a skeleton spawner in the Nether will not only spawn skeletons, it will also spawn withers. And this can only be a good thing. And so, I'm going to get that set up, and we'll see just how good this thing can turn out. I think it can work pretty good. So, I'll catch you in the Nether. All right, here we are. And before anybody asks, my brightness is already all the way up. So, alright, this here is the, as I understand it, the future site of a Nether hub. And I believe the eventual diameter of the thing is going to be like 30 to 40 blocks and so on. Whoops, I don't want to go through that right now. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, what's down here? Nice long tunnel out to somebody's place, I'm sure. Portal to somebody else's place. And what do we have off this tunnel? Stairway going down. tunnel that way, another tunnel this way that goes over and down into the unpleasant looking wild open. Alright. I think what I'm going to do... Zombie pigmen with enchanted sword. Jeez. And then there's this, which I think also goes down... Well, it goes down to a bridge, and over that way there's another portal. Okay. Alright. So, since those three sides appear to all be occupied with openings of one sort or another, well, that one only sort of, but it doesn't go very far under there from what I can see, so I'm thinking I just start digging this way. Just dig myself a tunnel off this way about 50 or 60 blocks. That way it'll be nearby to the new hub, but far enough away that it should not be in the way of future construction, hopefully. And if need be, I suppose the whole thing can be torn down and moved. Alright, so I'm going to work on this tunnel and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Alright, I have carved a tunnel here, 3 blocks wide, and from the edge of the current opening, the current area that's been hollowed out, from here, this tunnel goes 55 blocks this way, which I figure should take it far enough that it will be out of the way of any planned construction, any planned construction. This spawner will not be in the way of any planned building and whatnot by putting it this far out. Let's see, I'm at 117 right now. Yeah, okay. Okay. I should have paid more attention to that. I'll be back when I replace the tool. Alright, here I am, new tool, and this time I even have a spare, so what I'm going to do here is, let's take it in one block, and then I'm going to start going up. And the reason I want to go up is that I want to put the spawner itself right up again, well, one block below the lowest level of Nether ceiling, the ceiling bedrock. Okay, let's try to keep some light in here. I know this is dim on YouTube, but the Nether is the Nether. Okay, that's probably it right there. Close that back up. Need that one. Okay. This will be the level where I start working at. What I'm going to need here, let's see, let's use a placeholder block that sticks out. A little bit of marble. Now what I'm going to do is put the spawner there. The spawner will be placed on top of this marble block. There'll be 2 blocks clearance, the spawner's level and the level above it. Now I'm going to clear out a 9x9 room here with this block right at the center. 2, 3, 4 that way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 that way. Now I realize that spawner areas are typically 8 by 8, and it's like 4 blocks diagonal on one side, on one corner, and 3 blocks diagonal on the other. But I have personally found that putting it in the middle of a 9 by 9 is just plain easier. And I like easy. Okay. That tells me I have to move my whole thing down 1 block. Not a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that part of the ceiling back in. Hello. Well, perhaps I'm not the only one in the Nether. Clearly, no ghast can see me where I'm at. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and finish clearing out my 9 by 9 area here, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I've got the area widened out, and I've gone ahead and I moved this down not 1 block but 2, because it occurred to me I'm going to want the ceiling to not be looking like netherrack and bedrock. So let's see, let's dip into my white bag here. And let's get some marble brick. And then we'll dip into the red bag, and we'll get a blue bag, and we'll get some inverted white lamps. These inverted white lamps are a red power item, and they are most cool. I'm going to make a marble brick ceiling. Well, the walls are going to be that too, but that's fine. And I'm thinking that it's entirely possible that folks might decide that they would like to adjust the decorating or design and whatnot somewhat later on, and I'm fine with that. I just want to get something together right now that works, that does what it needs to do, which is provide experience and the occasional wither skull and so on, all at the same time. Now, let's see. Alright, let's get these lamps ready here, and I should have got out more of the marble. Alright, let's see. What if we go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4? No. Go in 3. That lamp. Light. Lots of light. Same thing over here. 1, 2, and 3, I believe. And lighting like this in a spawner trap, you say? Madness? Well, maybe. Normally it would be in vanilla. But 1, 2, and 3. So stand here, go straight up. But you see, in with these soul shard created spawners, especially particularly at tier 5, it doesn't care what the light level is. Light level can be just as bright as you want, and it doesn't matter to this thing. Alright. So I figure, since the light level doesn't matter, there's no reason we can't have a bright and almost cheerful spawner. Something of an unusual idea, I admit, but why not? I'm going to start getting the walls here. And do them in marble brick as well. And this will start to probably take on something of an almost laboratory situation. Possibly. It's certainly a lot easier to see in here all of a sudden. White ceiling, white walls, and white lights. Bright ones. Very good. Alright, now the spawner will sit on this block right where that torch is. And that will leave one block of airspace above it, which won't be a problem. And actually, it won't be a block of airspace because there is going to be something like this coming right down to it so that there can be a redstone signal conducted directly to the soul cage. And the reason for that is that with a tier 5 soul shard, you can use a redstone signal to turn it off. And that also is going to be very handy, especially in the case of this thing, because it's going to spawn 6 mobs every 2 seconds. And that could easily, very quickly, get to be way too many. So, I am now going to continue hollowing this area out, bring the walls down. I'm going to bring this thing down for... I'm aiming for about a 23 block drop, so that when they spawn, basically I'm going to go down 23 blocks from here. And down there will be the platform and kill zone, the landing platform where the mobs will land, and the kill zone which will be around it. And I've already gone through 1 pick, so I may end up having to go back and get more picks. Oh well, not a problem. There's one thing I've got plenty of. It's red powered gems for making tools out of. Alright, I'm going to get working on this, and I'll check in after a bit when I get a little bit of decent progress going here.